Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another Last Epoch dev stream. As usual, I'm your host, Mike. Hello, how's it going, everybody? I actually prepared my character for stream this week. I did a little bit of farming, little bit of farming. You may notice some new toys on here. Got lucky. We're ready to rock. I guess I should welcome everyone to the stream. I am a developer for Last Epoch, and I'm here to play some Last Epoch and answer some questions about it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put at Last Epoch Game on Twitch or at Last Epoch on YouTube. Those questions will be funneled to me over here, and I will do my best to answer as many of them as I can, as best as I can. And we're starting out, we got subs right off the bat. Infernal246, thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate you, as usual. Everything goes to charity, right above my head. All the stream stuff goes there. Yeah. We're gonna have some fun, and we've got a few upgrades that we're knocking on the door of. I have shifted my build a bit to be something that I find a little more natural to play. It might not be as strong, but it might be more strong. I don't know. So yeah, we've shifted to a more traditional Heartseeker build. We're still doing Heartseeker, still the same sort of stuff, but we have worked in a few new pieces, some old ones that have stuck around a bit, and got these. Took so long. Unfortunate roll on the legendary, but you know, still pretty good. And finally got a red ring. Oh my goodness, took so long. It was a prophecy in the end. I do have a new quiver that I'm trying to find a replacement for this, and I do have a 3 LP helm that I am looking to find a unique an exalted to slap on, and I have like 4 2 LP dragon songs that I'm trying to find a new bow to put on as well. So we've got some upgrade options for these items here that I'm looking at, and you know, so we didn't change too much. Like, we're still basically the same skill loadout, a little bit different, but very similar. The really important thing is we have a new quest, and I'm actually going to put in some attempts on stream here. I did try once with this character. It's been a while since I've actually tried to fight Aberoth, and I was a little rusty. We got down to the final ward shield. And then I was like, I'm not going to risk accidentally doing this off stream, so I just walked into some AoE and died. But I don't think I would have managed. I was like really touch and go. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna do a little bit of farming first. We'll answer some questions, and I will see if I can get some Aberoth attempts in, and hopefully not embarrass myself too much. We are up at 382 corruption, so we're doing okay. Yeah. It looks like I'm pulling questions direct from chat for a second here. Are glyphs coming out for the skill trees? Glyphs? No. Unlock new branches with passive skills. No. Arrow weird! That is 27 months. A wild arrow appeared. Yeah, it did. Welcome. Glad to have you with us. Okay. I also do realize that the problem with me getting my corruption up higher enough to where it's actually like semi-respectable, and possibly going on Aberoth attempts, is I'll have a tough time answering questions. So we'll see how things are going. If I'm really far behind, I might take a minute to do one attempt or something, but I don't know if we'll actually make it or not. We do have next week as well. So right now we've got 2 weeks to do this. I said I wanted to try and beat Aberoth this season on stream. I had to do a little bit of farming off stream, so I apologize for that, but it was boring. I actually really enjoyed it. Okay, more questions. Whoop. Is that red ring from COF or MG? That is a COF. You see rank 7 right there on the bottom. It was a prophecy. I went kind of ridiculous with the ring prophecies. But that's how many ring prophecies it took to trigger a red ring, because they were all ring prophecies and they all triggered. So by the time I actually like sunk my teeth in, I'm like, okay, I'm actually gonna make this happen now. That's how long it took. Oh yeah, the chest is still no unique on the chest, yeah. I mean, ideally we want a chest from Aberoth, which is kind of hard to do as COF without killing Aberoth. I just love having the mobility. Okay, any whispers in the halls regarding new cosmetics in the shop? Season 3? Maybe some falcons? Thank you. Yeah. Wow, I was just following that AoE around. Sorry. All right, sorry, just talking to Kane here on the side. Yes, we do have season 3 cosmetics coming. I'm actually got some of those to show off later in the stream a little bit. We'll take a little dip into some of those. I actually just saw the video, sort of the overview of the cosmetic reveal video. I think that just got finished today. I didn't even know half of them were coming, and they look unreal. So I'm very, very excited about that. Hey Mike, is the team planning more support for Void Sorcerer? Lamented Lost Refuge is such a cool unique, but it feels stranded with very little support either for Volcanic Orb or Void spells in general. I don't think it's a high priority thing, but it is something that I'm really interested to explore. So I guess what that means is you won't be seeing anything like that coming in season 3, but I do really want to explore Void as a damage type more, because it really is it's relegated to Void Knight and a little bit of this like niche interaction on Sorc. And I think there's a lot of room mechanically, thematically, and just cool stuff to do with it. There's lots of interesting ideas floating around internally about Void and where we can take that, how we can really just explore it in a different way. And I think that there's it's going to be a little bit before we see anything like that really manifest, but I'm really excited for it when we finally do. I don't know if it's specifically going to be Void Sorcerer, but just exploring Void in general, I think is something I'm really interested in doing as far as character abilities go. Do we have an ETA on the MG video you teased on Discord? Me personally teased? I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Infernal Odin, please let me know what that's about, because I'm not quite sure. I think video stuff, like official like hype week sort of stuff, and visual reveals on what's coming, I think that's a next week thing. We don't, because we just want to see if we can get another pair of gloves. I also haven't actually tried him at this corruption, I don't think, so we'll see how we do. Let me just tank this, yeah. I don't know why I'm so close. I take more damage close. We do still have some mana issues. That's something I have been noticing. This. No gloves? No. Fine. Will there be podcasts for the upcoming season? I don't think we're doing podcasts this time. Oh, Aaron skipped your question. Necro Threshold, no teasers today? Nope, don't have any of those for you, sorry. When is Hype Week? Starting next week, I believe. I don't know the day it's starting on exactly. I do know there's at least a post coming out on Wednesday. There might be one before that. But I know which post is on Wednesday, so. Right. I kind of want to know what'll happen if I bump the corruption up much higher. Can I survive that? Let's grab one. Which way do I go? This way? This is probably the fastest way. Right. Will there be new Uber bosses in Season 3 or in future seasons? Season 3, no. Future seasons, yes. There are new like bosses and challenges and difficult things to attempt. But Uberoth will still be the hardest fixed difficulty content post Season 3. And that like might change a little bit, but yeah, for the most part, the absolute top Uber fight is still gonna be Uberoth. There will be other very difficult things to do though. I can't talk about yet. Anytime rot javelin nerfs incoming. I'm not gonna touch on specific balance changes, but I mean, if you're asking about it, not a bad shot. Guy's got a great laugh. In case you forgot, this is your weekly character sheet rework reminder. Thank you very much. I did not forget, actually. I know it's hard to believe. Is Ellie coming to console? Man, I wish I would have bought a PC instead of my Xbox last year. Yeah, I think there's I have no official information on the potential for console release, that sort of stuff. Console's still one of those things we want to do. We've like, you go back to look at the Kickstarter, and that was one of the things we were talking about doing then. It continues to be something we're really interested in. Which consoles, what that looks like, it's still all very much up in the air. I don't know like any details that unfortunately yet. Sorry. Like with all the like side work that we do on things that, not really side work, but just things, all the work that we put into things which affect consoles and make it easier to go to consoles. Like, I'd be surprised if we don't do it at some point. But I really don't know when that, like what that looks like, when that happens, if it happens, any of that stuff. All right, yeah, let's go down. Are there currently any plans for throwing skills and related something like more dedicated weapons? For example, as javelin is an outlier, always found it mildly surprising dagger bases didn't give throwing damage. Yeah, we've this is a question we get a lot, and the answer, that's for everyone who's been here a lot, prepare for a repeat answer. The short version is throwing abilities are balanced such that you don't need to have a throwing weapon for them to be successful. And if we did add a throwing weapon bases into the game, those abilities would be nerfed to reflect that. So, you know, monkey's paw, you know. All right. Are you looking forward to any multi-set builds with the new ring? I think that I really hope so. I think we'll see some like fun and like interesting builds. I don't know if we'll see any like, here's the new meta builds from it, but maybe. It does unlock a few cool things. I think it really it's another one of those, like, the potential is for cool stuff in the future is really high. Right. I do really want to get into some set design again. That's something we haven't done a lot of. I think we were kind of waiting to see how some things landed from season 2 to see if we we're going to adjust it at all before we really got into that. And so I'm hopeful to do a lot more of that soon. I love sets. Oh, walked into it. So that was a big boop. You are updating Lich and Necro this season, but what classes classes are the next ones you'll be looking at? I mean, so everyone gets every class gets updates every season. Just to like nip that one in the bud, I guess. I think if you look at which classes are missing skills still and where those skills are, that'll be a focus for new stuff coming. So like one of the things we're adding this patch is a new Lich skill, Flay. And so like there's a lot of whenever you drop a new skill into a new class, into an existing class, because there's so much integration of like, oh well, if you shift, you know, like you can search in here and there's like stuff on shurikens, and there's you know, like you go into all these trees have things that affect other trees, and when you drop a new skill in, there's a lot of opportunity to put nodes that relate to that new skill in existing skills as well. So yeah, I think if you look at the classes that are missing skills, I think that's where you'll see probably a lot of focus going forward. Any more details you can share regarding how Exalted Primordials work? Not yet, unfortunately. I asked if I could detail that interaction and relationship, and I'm not allowed to yet. I'm sorry. There is a one of the devlogs will outline details on exactly how that works, all the rules around it. Woo! Excuse me. Sorry. There is some info on our website about it. I believe the only thing that's really was shared there that we hadn't shared previously was that and this is something that I kind of danced around last stream but didn't say it, was that primordial uniques are a single equip per character at a time. So you cannot have multiple primordial uniques equipped at a time.
Easy. Too easy.
Which is, I believe, how the website words it. Trying very careful to just say the stuff that's already out there. But the primordial uniques are designed very much to be very narrow and very powerful. So there's not a huge list of them. There's some that are designed to be a little bit more generically useful, but I think it'll be common for maybe not common. I don't think it'll be super rare. I think it'll be moderate for players to make a build and say, hey, there's not really a primordial unique that fits this build that well. Or you might be like, okay, well, there's like, this is the best primordial unique for my build, but it sits in a slot, but it's still like just okay, and it sits in a slot where the a unique item is actually better in that slot. Oh my goodness. What kind of reasoning goes into deciding if skills plus level affix will go to relic, helm, or body armor? Good question. Usually we try to make it so that there's less overlap. So if a build frequently uses, if there's a really popular playstyle that frequently uses like 3 skills together, we try not to put the plus skill for all 3 of those abilities on the same base type. So we try and spread things out and have competing skills on the same base type. It's sort of generally, and I know there's examples that someone's probably going like, but this one breaks that. Yes, we generally try to do it such that the skills, so like, I don't know if this is true or not, but flurry and puncture probably are on the same item. I hope they are, or else my argument just falls apart completely. But that's the style of thing that we generally do. There might be a different reason why we chose not to do that. So it's possible as well that the stat, because they're all hybrid stats, right? So the Heartseeker with plus bow attack speed. We try to make sure as well that the hybrid stat that fits best with that ability is also going to fit well in that item type. So something that is generally either already on that item base, or that it's interesting that it's something that's not on that item base. And some of them were just like, oh, just slap them out and see, like, did it cause any problems? Sometimes you just got to assign things and be like, where are the problems, and fix them. All right. Hi, Mike. Hello. Any dragonfly pets coming to the shop? Dragonfly pets. I don't think so. Did we just do something with a dragonfly that's already on here last season? Maybe. There's some cool there are some cool critters. There's some adorable characters coming to the MTX shop for next season that I am really excited about. There's some feathery friends. I know dragonflies aren't really feathery, but you know, it's gonna be great. My favorite one's named Nigel. Actually, second favorite one's named Nigel. All right, why does Rogue have dual wield damage penalty when two of the Blade Dancer skills require dual wielding? I think the general thought around dual wielding having a damage penalty is that it's a lot easier to, like, it just thematically makes sense in the first place to just have less damage be applied per swing when you have when you're focusing on like two weapons instead of one, right? And then there's also the balance concern of that without some sort of drawback to dual wielding, it kind of just eclipses every other option. And then it's also not just a straight, well, dual wielding's better, I'm going to take it. It's just no matter what, it's better. Having some sort of drawback, I think, is useful. I do think that it's a little bit too steep of a drawback, and I think there could be more thematic ways to give bonuses to it at the same time. So I think we're definitely looking at the balance of those nodes. We do want those nodes to be fairly consistent, so it makes sense that dual wielding is an expected difference. So like you know, like, okay, if I'm dual wielding on a character, it's going to have this debuff and this buff sort of thing. Yeah, I don't think it's anything specific about like trying to nerf Blade Dancer, if that makes any sense. It's not. All right. More questions. But yes, I should say with the introduction of a new dual wielding node for Acolyte, which we have teased already, like second guessing myself as I'm saying this, but no, we did. We are looking at what nodes like that mean, and what they should be balanced with. All right, are we getting more Weaver Tree nodes? I think there's a couple. Ooh. I don't think there's much different. I think there's a couple new Weaver Tree nodes because there's a couple. Ooh. I'm gonna say maybe on that one because I'm not 100% sure. I think so though. I think it's related to the new content coming out. Has there been changes to sets outside of the new primal ring of royal grandeur? Nice. Minor changes, yes. I wouldn't say like big swings in any direction, but yeah, there's some adjustments. Specific targeted adjustments. I know there was a bug that I don't think anyone knew about around Boardman's set that we just fixed. Because there was actually two bugs. One that we did have a report for, and then another one that I found the bug while fixing it. So yeah, it changes on that sort of scale, like tweaks and fixes and things. How excited about you? How excited are you about us finally delving into the ancient era and beginning to explore that timeline? Thrilled, so excited. The visuals of this patch coming up, I think, are of this season are going to be great. I really like contrast in visuals as we go to different eras and having those really distinct and striking differences. The Imperial era and the Ruined era are like I really like the different aesthetics that they have, but they do kind of feel like they are related. And so you kind of sometimes end up with this feeling of like there's the divine, and then there's like the Imperial Ruin style, and they kind of fit similar themes. And then Ancient is sort of off on its own, and we don't really go there very much, so it kind of doesn't feel like a fully fledged experience. And so it feels like there's less distinction happening there, and I think having this extra ancient era stuff really helps that a lot. Spike 26 months. Woo, we got some big ones today. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. I hope you're having fun. All right. Look at how much space I cleared out. Oh yeah, it feels good. Sometimes you know. Okay. One day, Mike, you're gonna fix this sorting algorithm. One day. Let's put some stuff in here. Oh, there's one right there. Nice. Okay. That's what we want to do. We actually just want to reset. I just want to see what I can do with the corruption higher. We haven't done this one yet, though. I don't know if doing it at this high corruption is a good idea. Should we try it? Let's just try it. What's the worst that could happen? When does all the info start coming out about season? For the season. For the season. 1 week before? We're gonna start getting some stuff out next week for like real meaty info next week. The good stuff. But yeah, so I do have this. I got this and this that I want to find some exalteds to slap in before I actually try and fight Aberoth. And we've got another one of the quivers. See, these are our 3 targets for stuff to try and do. I want to do this first. Increase damage. I don't really need more of that. It won't be high health for long, so I just gotta watch out at the start of the fight. And sorry about the MG video question. I mistook the loot filter teaser. Question: any info on the new eggs? No. No new egg info. The eggs are the teasers we put out really early in a cycle are usually things that are like art stuff or like they're a piece of something larger, and there's not a lot there specifically because it's not going to spoil much. They're a part of the new mechanics coming, the new system that's really coming, but I wouldn't really consider it a major mechanical thing. You're not gonna be collecting eggs. Sorry, if you're looking forward to collecting some eggs. Any nerfs or buffs to the veteran boots planned at any stage? All I can really talk about is season 3, and no, not for season 3. Let's see how this goes. This is gonna go so badly. One. no! All right, one down. Whew. So with the new Primordial Ring, is it confirmed that we will get at least one new set this season or some reworks? No. Do you really feel like throwing skills are in that good shape? If yes, can you name one? This season we had shield throws okay due to relics, but the rest feel very lacking. I mean, I know it's not a direct throwing skill, but I am using burning daggers for a huge amount of my damage right now. And I also would like to clarify that I don't think that being a top tier ability is the requirement for the system to be functioning as we want it to. And having it be not in a top tier build is not I don't think is a good argument for suggesting that it needs to be mechanically changed in how it's how the items are like. That was a really easy one. How the items are how the power is distributed. Yeah. Just because it's not powerful enough doesn't mean that it needs to have the way that we distribute that power be changed. Oh, okay. All right. All right. All right. We don't want to get cocky here, but it's going well so far. Only got 2 left. All right. Hey, Mike, can you provide some insight behind why Falconer has an unkillable minion? Yeah. I feel like due to the insanely high nuke power of the Falcon, combined with the fact that it cannot die, is nearly game-breaking. Every insane corruption video on YouTube is now Falconer. Do you have any thoughts on this? Yeah, I mean, I think the damage output of the Falconer is probably a little high. We really like having uniquely, like, so having one of the main design pillars that we have is class identity. And so when we're making unique mechanics for minion classes, because there's quite a few minion focused classes in the game, and when we're trying to make unique mechanics so that they are mechanically distinct from each other, one of the ways we've done that was close is by changing how those, change how they have offensive and defensive abilities. And so in the Falconer's case, the defensive abilities are just, it's immune. So yeah, the damage that it deals is probably too high. All right. We're trying to finish this a little early. A lot early. Oh no, here we go. Nice. Nice. Would you look at that? Could be worse, could be better. Anything else fun here? I have such a bad habit of doing this. This is why I want the changes to the loot filter to come so I can actually set no beams, because I see the beams and I'm like, just take a peek. Just see what it says. Did I? Yeah, I did spend it. Cool. With last week's leak of Bear being able to proc a player's skill and skill tree. Does this mean with that this design space is coming back more broadly, or just in certain cases to increase power, such as what you showed last week? I know there was a period where such skill procs by minions companions were removed in beta. Yeah, I think it's I think the idea is coming back. I wouldn't say it's going to be widely adopted at initially, but I think overall the idea is coming back. We are more open to it, and I think there's more instances of that you'll start to see if this type of thing goes well. So I think this is the tester versions of them here. Is there any plan for a classes that is there any plan for a class that exclusive for melee build? I think that's what it says. Just for melee build for weapons with specific animation. Can't help me out here. I don't know what that says. All right. Dardaka, please type that out again. I'm not quite sure what the question is here. Sorry. Any news or plans of pets collecting coin, etc. while playing? We have no plans to implement this still. 440. Oh, I didn't see how high it was gonna go. That's quite high. Okay, you know what? We're gonna try the boss again really quick. It's kind of got a nice thing on it. Grab something else. It's just something bad. Oh, triple. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna use that. That should be enough, I think. Yeah. Went over a little bit, that's fine. Actually, it's just right. What I always do at the end of these, get shattered. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we're not having pets pick up stuff for you at this point. I always have to qualify this. If we hypothetically were to ever do that, those pets everyone would always have a free pet in their account, such that you could, everyone would be able to do that. Yeah, it's gonna make it to the those other abilities. Oh no! Yep, that was lucky, I think. Trying to clear stuff out and play it safe. I almost just got myself killed. All right. Oh, big crit multi. That's nice. Any new Acolyte stuff to reveal today? No, but I do know there's some cool, very cool stuff coming next week. When are you going to allow us to use our cosmetics in offline mode? In exactly 2 weeks, 14 days from no, 13 days from now. Yeah, 13 days from now. Which it's something we have announced that before. So this is not new info, but yes, just I mean it's pretty new. We just announced it. Do you think for the future updates there's a more value / opportunity in more general / flexible skills / items, or expanding into more niche strict opportunities? I think that there's a lot of value in both, and we're definitely going to do a lot of both. Yeah, I don't think that one's inherently better than the other, and so I think that we need to keep doing both, and they're both really useful, and they're both really useful for different reasons and doing different things. All right. Can we hang at 440 corruption? Is that a thing now? I might give Abroth a try here before the end of the stream. I'm nervous about it on stream. I kind of want to do it and just like die immediately, so I just get that out of the way. All right. it's been a while since I've actually done it legit. And I've not been practicing it. Kind of intentionally. Because we know it's fun to watch me make a fool of myself. Are you planning any other endgame options like the Monoliths? Yes. I mean, so there's things like dungeons. There's other activities we're doing in endgame. Monolith is a great vessel to get other mechanics into the game. Having a fully fledged other system that works instead of the Monoliths is quite a big thing. We've got some other big projects on the go right now, so I wouldn't expect to see that anytime very soon. Mike, handsome as always, thank you. Looking great. Also, stop telling people about Nigel. Oh, Steve. Sorry. My bad. It was Phil. It was Phil. Yeah, I meant to say Phil. It was Nigel. What are you talking about? All right. In season 3, within the skill hub, will we see skill icons update with their elemental conversion? No. For example, lightning blast showing a cold lightning icon. No. I do think that's something that we want to start doing. And we do have that type of conversion for a lot of skills, but a lot of them are just like you'll. I don't have a good example of this rep. I'd probably be in shift. This one I know there's lots of. There's like this one that's like flipped and like a different color. Here we are. Here's shift. So this. I know I did this one where I literally just took the shift icon, mirrored it, and then changed the color. Like I don't even know what the tool is. I just took it into GIMP and changed the color a little bit. We get a new icon from it, but we're actually having the people who are making the skill icons make color variations for the skills now when they make the new skill icons. So we're going to be able to do this easier in the future. And I think once we have more of them done sort of naturally, it'll be a smaller push to flip the rest of them over properly. Any chance of letting Sentinel dual wield more than swords? There's always a chance. If you want to see something like that add to the game, please head on over to our Discord channel. There's a suggestions channel in our Discord where we do collect suggestions from. There is also on our forums as well. That will not happen in season 3 though. And a lot of the dual wielding stuff is that like we want like sword mace to be a thing, and we want sword axe to be a thing, and that's why we just restrict what goes in the offhand, so you can still dual wield with a sword and something else. But just having 2 axes doesn't really feel very Sentinel theming to me anyways. I think it was rare that you'd see a character from like a military background, even in a fantasy setting, have in like a structured military wielding 2 axes. I think that's very rare. And that could just be my personal bias coming in. Will each new season going forward have a new chapter till the story is done? I don't think so, no. The chapters are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, this one's been worked on for 2 years now. So it's, I do mean that literally. I don't think that there's any chance the next chapter takes remotely as long as this one. But I don't think I also don't think it'll be season 4. Which is good, because it means we can focus on different things each season. There's a lot of stuff that overlaps on people that work on the like chapter content and the people who work on other content, like endgame content, stuff like that. There's huge amounts of overlap there. So is this update bringing more story? Yes, good timing on that question. Or is it endgame content? It's both. There is a new chapter coming that will focus on the ancient era. There's a whole bunch of new locations and new things to do in the ancient era, cool places to go, stuff to see, people to do quests for, monsters to slay. Wonderful stuff. And that does translate into new content for the end game as well. And there's new mechanics that's coming that'll be campaign and in-game content. Yeah. Do you have any plans to rework or improve your map generation system in the Monolith? Just to make maps in the Monolith feel more random and more unique every run. Also, I wish maps were bigger and take longer to run. Optionally, maybe. Most of them feel super small. It's a really interesting question because I agree with what you're saying. And the feedback that we generally get would kind of disagree in the most part. I think whenever we do try and put, and maybe it's just a matter of like change is sometimes difficult, and knowing what you had before can impact what you have now quite a lot. Even if what you have now is better, it might feel worse because you liked what you had before, something like that. And when we have had larger echoes, and sometimes as well, it's also just a comparison where it's like, if the reward I want is from completing the echo, and echo A takes 1 minute, echo B takes 30 seconds, everyone's going to want to do echo B instead of echo A if your primary goal is efficiency, which in a lot of cases for RPGs it seems to be. And not that it's a bad thing. And so yeah, we have tried to introduce a little bit longer things in some cases, but it hasn't always worked out great, and we've ended up splitting them off in some cases where we'll take like a big one and just break it into two. The Monolith echoes are not procedurally generated. They are static maps, and the things that are random, there are elements that are randomized within that map layout. So the map layout's fixed, and then the objective type that you get presented with, the objective location and the spawn location and the enemy spawns, those are all randomized. So you do get unique situations and combat opportunities, but you don't get a procedurally generated map layout each time. Yeah, but we are working in more procedural generation for content that comes into the game right now. So you are going to see new zones that are procedurally generated in 1.3, or in season 3. I still gotta wrap my head around the terminology properly. All right, at least make the sorting algorithm go left to right, please. Yeah, 12 is more divisible into item size than 17 is. Yep. You're right. I know. We'll get there. It's so funny how like one of the most basic's the wrong term for it, but one of the earliest things you learn when you start learning any sort of coding, whether it's through like a traditional setting or through like just like a website that's teaching you something like that. Like there's basically anywhere you go, sorting is one of the first things you learn. And all the different ways you can sort and improve that sort efficiency and improve the like just the quality of the sort, and using the what you know about the information you're sorting to improve that sort. That's something that's weird tangent. It's so there's lots of different sorting algorithms, and there's kind of a few that are like the best ones for like the generic case where you like don't know anything about your data. You're like, well, you're obviously going to use this sort of thing. And then the really important thing about most sorting algorithms is that once you have information about your data, you can change the way you're sorting to dramatically improve the quality of that sort. Like if you had so irrelevant information, if you're trying to sort 10 numbers low to high, and you knew that 9 of those numbers, like so you got 10 numbers that range from the numbers 1 to 10, and you're going to sort them randomly. You're going to sort them, and they're randomly distributed now. And you don't know anything about that information, there's one sorting algorithm you're going to take. And then if you know that 9 of those 10 numbers are the number 9 and the other one's the number 1, all you have to do is just find the number 1 and put it at the front. And you know, it's like, that's a very extreme example, but you've hit the nail on the head there with it, is that we know information about the space that we're sorting in and the items that are being sorted in that space, so we can improve the quality of that sort and the efficiency of that sort based on that knowledge. And we're not doing that right now, and we should. And you can directly blame me. plans to have people be able to buy creator unique supporter packs in the near future? Near future, probably not. We're still working through them slowly. There's another one. There's a new supporter unique that I'm really excited about. That you'll see pretty soon. Yeah, they take a little while. We need to figure out a better system. And I've talked about this before. It's not. When this is gonna sound ridiculous. If we sell a supporter unique, for $1,000, which is what we've been selling them before, which it sounds insane to me that we'd sell something for $1,000. That's what we sold them for before. We lose money on that. That is a net negative thing. Like in like the most high level sense of that. There's a lot of value that comes from that. That's not really, you can't directly attribute to it. So we probably in reality we probably don't lose money on it, but like it costs more than $1,000 of dev and design time to make that item usually. More than it would have just to make a regular unique. But you get these awesome designs that we never would have thought of. You get these this awesome interaction with the community that like kind of doesn't really have a value. So there's really great things about it, and we want to be able to provide that for people, and you know, like getting people in to collaborate on these things individually it's a lot of fun and it's interesting. I think the game is better overall for it. So I think like in the grand scheme of things, yes, it is good, but we can't just, I guess what I'm getting at is we can't just open up the floodgates and say, all right, $1,000, anyone who wants one can have one. Like that's a big problem. So we have to restrict it somehow. We have to find some way to say, everyone can't have one, but maybe some people can have some, and finding a fair way to do that where we're not just like, and like the obvious easy way is, well, crank up the price until only the number of people that you want to sell it to can afford it, and it's viable financially to do it directly, you know, and like that just doesn't feel great because it's already so expensive. So we're trying to find better ways to still offer more of those if we can, while having it be fair and yeah. Because the value in that's not the money. The value in that is the improvements to the game, and yeah. Rex. Oh, we can get special names on them. All right. Why the shift in new season communication? Season 2, we had weekly dev interviews a month before launch that got the community really hyped. I don't know exactly. There was going to, I think it's just the timing of everything. Really is what caused that to happen, because we were looking at doing a lot of podcasts before this one as well. And I am sorry to anyone who was looking forward to one of those. Hopefully I am a small consolidation to that. But I hope we get back to that in next season.
They won't forget.
All right. More. Hello, Mike. Hi. Can we expect achievements with some cosmetics for harder ones, season 4, 5, or higher? Can't wait for season 3. You can expect achievements. I have no idea if we can attach cosmetics to, or rewards in general, to harder ones. I don't see why not, but I haven't looked into that personally, so I'm not sure. I sure hope so. I really think that's the sort of thing that feels great. Oh, there was some challenge. This is back playing WoW, back in Wrath days, and there was a this like blue dragon Drake. I can't remember what it's called. It was blue and like scaly, and we there was some achievement we did, and we got these drakes. And you know, it's like they're not necessarily the coolest things possible, but just like there's this you know, hey, look at what I did because of this cosmetic that I earned element to it, that like it feels amazing. Like earning something like that and being able to like like walk through town and like show that off a bit. Like that's just fantastic. So I really hope we can bring some shred of that. And we're not an MMO. There's not really that like hanging out in town aspect that happens. But even just like walking into like something with your friend, and you know you've got some mini pet, and it's like, oh, how'd you get that? And so I did this challenge. Like that's so much fun. It's awesome. It drives like other people to then go try and do that challenge, and it also it's fun. It's interesting. It's cool. So I really hope we do that. And yeah, we are working on achievements, not for season 3. Just to be clear, none of that's for season 3. I hope someone knows what dragon I'm talking about. I don't think it was any faster, but at that time it may have been the only one that was actually that fast. It was like 30% faster than the next one or something like that. It was just like a tiny little bump. It may have just been the same speed, I can't remember. If you could only pick one class and weapon set, what would it be right now? Sorry to be boring, but you're looking at it. Are skill sigils still on the roadmap? And if so, how far away is it? I have no information to share regarding the skill sigil system that we teased on a previous roadmap. Yes, sorry. Any option for cursor size coming to the game? We don't have a way of doing this at the moment. There is a workaround that I saw someone found recently. If you close the game and go into your operating system and change the cursor size in the operating system itself, and then reopen the game, the cursor size in the game is reflected in the operating system cursor size. So I know it's clunky and it sucks, and doing like as soon as you close the game you have to put it back, and if you're doing anything else at the same time with the game open, you got this weird giant cursor. But you can crank up the cursor size. Yeah. Sorry, I just had to tell some people off in chat. But if we can get a way to have customizable cursor sizes and variable icons for them in game with like the hardware cursor style, like yeah, this is a big thing. There are two types of cursors that you can do in game, and you can basically have like the normal cursor, and you can like slap a sprite on top of it that just like follows it around, and there's issues that can happen with that. So we use the way that is like the most performant cursor style, and that means we can't really modify it mid game running. So yeah, if you crank up your cursor in your operating system, you should be able to get a bigger one in game as well. And I know it's not a solution, but we are working on a better solution. All right. I saw many streams, and I don't remember any talks about sockets. We talked about sockets a few times. Are there any plans on adding sockets to items? Here, let's get a little tease up something. Move that over a bit. Excuse me. Okay. So sockets are sockets are something we've tried to incorporate into Last Epoch many times. It hasn't really gone very well, and therefore we haven't actually pushed it. We've come very close to adding them into the game, and I think that if we find a really good way to make them incorporate with the other systems in the game, it's something that we are interested in doing. I think we kind of just need some seasonal content mechanic to come along and say, here's how we do sockets in Last Epoch, and make it work and make it fun. The big thing is, and I think I positioned this nicely on screen so I can actually do this a little bit. You can see it inside there. Yeah, there's whenever you have an item, Yeah, you can see it. Okay, this right here in the crafting menu, like this item has, you can't really see behind there, but this item has one prefix and two suffixes, and there's an open socket on that prefix slot that we can slap in a some sort of put cold damage on it. There we go. Oops. I was doing Glyph of Envy. Sorry. Whoops. Point is that we kind of already have this socket system in our core crafting, and so it's really hard to differentiate that because we do have these items that drop in crafting materials that you can socket into the empty affix slots on your items. There's a few ways we've talked about trying to work that into the rest of the item system a few times, like work sockets into that. We've tried systems where the actual, like, where you put a socket into that affix slot, and then you can put some other item into that affix, into that socket. And it's kind of just a longer way of doing, here's a more unique affix that can go in that slot, you know? So yeah, I think there's room for it. Exactly what that looks like, I don't know. I think there needs to be a really good reason to do it. I don't think we have a really good reason to do it just yet. Is there a thought behind making Blade Dancer skills require dual wielding? No more. We won't take an ability that doesn't require dual wielding and make it require dual wielding. There's a possibility it could be a node that says that, where it's like this node like if you take this node, it converts it. But just at a baseline, I don't think there's any interest in taking abilities that are not currently dual wield requiring and making them dual wield requiring, because they already have a couple in there. And then there's a bunch that are, while that may not require it, there's a lot of nodes that synergize with it. And then the passive tree also just a lot of things that synergize with it. So we heavily suggest it. And then for a couple skills, we restrict it. But for the most part, we try and keep it as free as possible. I think Bow's Anarchy looks fun for Blade Dancer Pseudo Monk, but then I immediately lose access to Dancing Strikes and Shadow Cascade. Yeah. I think this is actually asking, is there a thought to making them no longer require dual wielding, like pulling them off of that? I think that's what this question is actually asking, but I could be wrong. I think part of that is just that the core fantasy around Blade Dancer is dual wielding, and so having specifically the like the mastery ability require dual wielding is really important. But you'll notice that the other two attack in this tree don't require that. And if the ability that I want to have, we haven't figured out what it's gonna be yet, but the ability that, oh my gosh, sorry, Gain, thank you, nailed it. What was I saying here? The Dancing Strikes is dual wielding and Shadow Cascade is dual wielding, but these other two are not. And I hope that the final ability that ends up in there will not require it. Put it that way. Is there any chance someday? No, I think this is supposed to be gender lock for classes. I wish I could play as a female mage. The whole gender lock for classes was really just like a matter of necessity, just to keep scope low, so that when we were making things, we could make things faster. That was the original reason for it, really. And as we improve the ability for us to make items attached to things, as we've been doing with cosmetics, that more generically, it makes it easier for us to make that change for all items. And we are still, as we said many times before, we are still interested in making like character customization happen. One of those primary things in character customization is gender, and you know, that's still something we're really interested in doing. Do I know when that's going to happen? No, I'm sorry, I don't. Are we just stalling at this point? Should we take a run? We're halfway through the stream. Should we take a run at it? See what happens. Maybe it'll be fine. Maybe it'll be fine. Let's see if there's a better bow. Let's see if there's something we can slam for a better bow first. It's like increased bow attack speed. So many things with this. Let's find a bow with increased bow attack speed that possibly has something else amazing. The wrong one. It's probably in here. There's one. That's got a shot. It's got a shot at the title. That's a T6. No. There's some good stuff there. Six. You got a question going while I'm doing this. I'm just looking for something else to slam. Okay, what last tab we're gonna go through? I'm gonna look at this last tab here. 7, could try and craft that into the point. 7. Okay, let's try and craft one of these into something we love. Havoc. We want this to be the T7, and then we want to get this up to T5. And I think it's slammable. Any new supporter packs? Yeah, we got new supporter packs coming. No big deal. I actually just learned that this morning, so. Any plans to upgrade the utility of the flask using, for example, unique belts that bring you unique buff for it? Like when you use a flask, get a random unique buff or something else. Yeah, we almost always put effects like that on belts. Here's a great example of that right here. And I think there's definitely room for a lot more of those things. I do like the idea of, it's usually not very powerful. So usually when we do make an item like that, it doesn't show up a lot in super endgame builds. It's kind of like how like percent-based cheat death mechanics with high cooldowns don't actually end up in hardcore builds very often if you're really strapped for points. And because they're just unreliable. It's, you know, things like that. But I really like them where it's like, oh, drink a potion and there's a chance something will happen. It's like one of 6 things that could happen. I really like effects like that. So, you never know. Is the team working towards having a unique that interacts with each skill in the game? Is that something you consider when designing uniques? I don't think that it's a requirement. It's not like a, hey, we've got like there's no list where we say like, okay, these skills don't have a unique that interact with them yet. Let's make sure let's find 3 of them and make sure we add a skill this time. But I do think at the same time that there is, if we're looking at, hey, we've got room for like 4 more uniques and there's 8 more ideas. And here, these 2 ideas are for abilities that are really focused on abilities that have a ton of uniques for it already, and these 2 are for abilities that have no uniques around them already. That will give them a leg up in the deciding which one to do category. Okay. I think bow fire damage is really good. Stun chance is terrible though. We should crank this to 5 before we do anything else. Ignite and shred, those are all fine. You know, we're just gonna roll with this. There we go. There's candidate 1. Okay, let's see how long. Oh, first try. We will take that. Yes, health on kill, no. Bleed, not huge. Health on kill, not great. It's fine. There's a second candidate. It already has a T7 there. Not doing fizz damage much. We should try and re-roll this. Cold damage, doing a lot more cold damage than we are fizz damage. That's probably good enough to just leave there. Ish. Okay, there's candidate 3. Nope, not that. We want this. Right. That makes sense. Armor shred. Let's go with that as our base. Havoc. First try. This is going well. Okay, we have 4 candidates for improvements to our bow. And Dragon Song? That's the name of it, right? One. We've got 2 LP Dragon Songs. There we go. There we go. Do you have any 3 LP Dragon Songs? Okay. What are the best 3 ones here? Sure. We're just gonna roll it. Let's go do a few of these. Level is this 36. Okay, back to questions. Sorry, I'm like prepping for this fight. Any plans to skip the campaign in the future? I know it might seem like I don't like the campaign, but it's just that while creating new characters to test different builds, it is a big component where I lose energy to play several campaigns a season. I mean, there's, especially once you're into your 2nd, 3rd, 4th character of the season, I think there's a lot of opportunity to do things that can really supercharge that process. That you might be already doing. We don't really have any big plans to adjust that heavily at the moment. I'm gonna put some of these away. There's 4. We are going to do these 4. I don't know if they're the best ones, but close enough. We'll do a little bit higher. So you have to do 2 to get the force pick. Which one? Right. So I did 2. When you have an item, you may notice this is still level 36, even though there is a T7 affix on it, just like this is still level 36. So you can stick this item, which is a very powerful weapon, on a level 36 character and crank that leveling speed up. The dungeons, as you get to the exit of a dungeon, they are all campaign skips. So while you enter this dungeon at a fixed position, you also exit the dungeon in a fixed position. Did I get her? Oh, I got her. Sweet. Wasn't one cycling that before. All right. Gonna do this one. Armor shred, not great. But yeah, so like when you leave here, you come here. And so you end up in the Divine Era, which is a pretty big jump in the campaign. So you can see that you kind of just skip into this point in the campaign. You keep going. So like there's big chunks you can cut. Every dungeon does this. So once you have keys and gear that's specialized for leveling, you can skip through huge chunks of the campaign. And so while it's not a full complete skip, there is still that process, and you still have to go through the leveling process anyways. And you can also get someone to warp you to the end game if you want. The way we are, we're also adding in more ways to unlock these passive and idle slot rewards, so that there's more options in how you complete that leveling process. Hi, hello. Are there any plans to update the tooltips for skills and sub-skills to reflect their scaling better? It can be incredibly frustrating to find out later in the playthrough that some skills don't scale as expected from the tooltip, for example, Ravaging Aura and Consecrated Aura Ground scaling with the damage from the skills that procs them. Probably not. We've changed a couple of the tooltips and how they're displayed just to make it a little bit more clear. But everything there's like 2 exceptions to the rules on this. I don't think any of the ones you mentioned are exceptions. So like it's really difficult to change the rules, and putting the right information on every single item. We try to make sure that the information that they scale with is explicit and is correct. We're removing some of the attribute scaling information that comes the attribute scaling that comes with them. Have any? You do have some. Interesting. Yes, I forgot to duplicate purples before I signed them. You're right. But you know what? My purples aren't that good, so we'll let it slide. Hey, another whiff. All right, that's why we've got several. There are the attribute scaling portion of that we are improving the tooltips on to make that more clear. But as a rule, the things that don't get passed down, situations where the ability is triggering an ability that you could put on your bar, it won't pass anything down. And attribute scaling gets passed down as the stat that it is converted into, not the attribute itself. And target conditional effects are not passed down. So more damage to burning enemies or ignited enemies, more damage to high health enemies, things like that. Those are not passed down. More damage while at high health, if you yourself are at high health, or more damage while at low life, or more damage while ignited. This conditional on yourself, those are passed down because those conditionals are checked at the time of creation, not at the time of impact. Oh, okay. Not sure why we were a little slower that time. Shift cleanses. But apparently we can survive that. Here we go. Are we gonna whiff on all of them? Maybe I should copy one? Just because I'm worried about not having enough of them? Oh no, where'd they go? No! Come on. Really? There it is. Beautiful. Okay, come on. You guys thinking about adding something similar to the mercenary system in the PoE1? PoE1 just added, like, having the campaign having their own skills and equips that we can change. It was fun AF in PoE1. Yeah, we've talked about things like this in the past. This kind of comes back to the whole class identity, unique class identity stuff, because they are no longer, because it turns every class into a minion class. So we're not planning on it at the moment. All right, here we go. One last try. Whichever one of these is the best one, we're gonna use it. It's gonna be 3% fire pens, just better than all of them. we're not planning on it at the moment. I mean, the Diablo 2 mercenary system is like already heavily influencing us for sure. I wasn't in range of Dragon Song proc the first time. That's the second and third time. That's what happened. Okay, here we go. Hey, and they all missed the one we wanted them to hit. That's unfortunate. These are like all identical. They're comically similar items. Okay, which one's the best? Not the shock one, that's the worst one. I don't do any ignite damage. It's one of these two still. Probably the armor shred. I think it's that. That one's slightly better. That 1% crit might actually be worth something though. Should I pick the should I go with the new one or keep the existing one that I had before? Did I just waste all that time? I think the shred's better. We're gonna go with the new one. Stick this in here though. All right, we're giving it a shot. Oh, unless I have a sweet helmet. Stalling too much. We're going for it. We're gonna try it. If it flops hard, we'll try and find a helmet to improve our helmet situation. We have that 3 LP peak. Is there a plan for Sentinel class to add more melee skills? Possibly. Not in season 3 though. Is there a plan to add more types of runes to the material currency? If so, how do you prevent other materials currency from becoming less worth picking up / using? I mean, they don't take up inventory space. And you're right. As soon as we add a new one, every other one becomes slightly less valuable. We added some last season, same sort of thing. We're always looking for new ones to add because I think it's very interesting. Getting new ones, I think that's something people love to have, and we are very interested in adding more of them. We turn down so many more than get approved. Like there's so many ideas that come through, and almost all of them get vetoed for some reason, of like some worthwhile mechanical reason. Right. Any new champions in season 3? Ooh, yeah. Because there's new enemy types. Okay. Can we expect more early season tweaks and balance changes this season due to the smaller community tester program and less testing hours put in? I think the implication I think that there's less of an impact than than the assumption behind this is. I would say probably not, but I maybe, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
The altar of oblivion.
Okay. Black Proto Drake and Wrath of the Lich King. There we go. A unique reward for doing the bunch of achievements in 3.0 before the next patch. And yes, he gave an extra 30% flight speed. Not crazy!
Face us yourself.
Well, a little crazy. We don't stand in that one. My cold res is still under. That was the problem. I knew I still had a mistake. Crap. I knew there was something I still needed to do. Oh gosh. These hands always creep me out.
Such wasted potential. Orbis would have welcomed you.
All right.
You fight for nothing. The void hungers. See the beauty we were denied. The terror turned her back on us.
Oh, where are you? I realized that I just went completely silent. Sorry. I gotta be a little bit closer so Dragon Song can proc.
The gods tore our world apart. They deserve their fate.
Come on. I'm getting nervous about actually doing okay here.
We treated the world no better. Death is our legacy. Oblivion.
Okay, next. Okay, go. Can I get a question in the middle of this? I'm told there won't be tools like Character Builder available before release. Okay, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Sorry. The advantage of doing that is that I can then blame my failure on doing that, but no.
This is his answer. The void comes.
Jesus Christ, that was close.
You fight for nothing.
Oh! I knew I'd turn around there. Oh! Heartseeker's still hot fire. It's not cold. It's just the VFX, the cosmetic. It's like exactly where I died last time. Thank you. Perfect timing. That. Out. It was the other teaser I have here was ask for a higher quality one. I got it. Oh, but it's got I gotta crop it. Dang it. Sorry, just a sec, guys. I got another teaser. It's at much higher resolution than the first version I had for it, but it has a little extra stuff that I've got to crop here. Because if I show this, I get in trouble. And I'm really bad at cropping these things. Here we go. That's enough to not get in trouble. Okay, here is some slight. No, I'll just play it. This is a cosmetic VFX for Swipe coming up. Just a little one, a little fun. Oh. No, it was just some like it was like a little thing in the top corner of like it was like the server IP basically. It's not actually the server IP. Oh, okay. I think we should try and find a helmet. I know it's still up. Sorry. I think we should try and find a better helmet. I'm just gonna let our heart rate go down a little bit here. I'm told there won't be tools like character builders available before release, unlike previous releases. If I'm not misunderstanding or misinformed, is this going to be the trend moving forward, or is there particular reason they're not available this time around? I don't think that's any different than the past. I feel like they've always not been available, or at least until patch notes, maybe. I'm pretty sure they've never been available before patch notes, which is like the day before or something. Are you open to adding? I'm saying confirmation. Yeah, for patch notes. So same as business as usual there. Nothing's changing. Are you open to adding bows to other classes beside rogue? And on the flip side, are you thinking about making other weapon types that would be locked to single classes? I'm much more interested in opening up bows to other classes than I am about adding new class locked weapons. The original reason for class locked bows was just the animation pipeline at the time wasn't, and the skills pipeline wasn't big enough to include it in other places, and then it just became a staple of the rogue. I think there's a lot of really great space for that to expand, and there's been many times we've come very close to doing it. I think it will happen eventually. Hey Mike, why did you choose that damaging ailments cannot crit? Having reasons, having ways to build your character such that crit's not automatically good is just great for variety, because crit's so strong. Hey Mike, why did you choose? Alright, it said the pro for me is no pets / minions with mage next season. Cool. I'm worried that the best way to play would be a melee mage. Are the range specs balanced well enough to promote true caster? There's powerful true caster builds, yeah. I think that's what the question is, yeah. Any chance we'll be getting something to help Weaver's Will rolls? My suggestion is an echo that lets you slam a mod that will be guaranteed to roll like normal LP items. I don't think there's any major changes like that coming. If you'd like to see something like that, head on over to our Discord or forums, and there are suggestions channels that you can drop stuff like that in. What's the most challenging task for you personally as for now? The thing I find hardest is not leaking everything, not just talking about stuff that's coming, not just like expelling stuff. Like, I find that so hard to do. Putting me in front of a camera is risky. Okay, let's find an exalted helmet that's just got, let's get better than just straight 13 dexterity. Hey, this has better than just straight 13 dexterity on it. That's T6. T7 dexterity. We do this. Did we do T7 dex? No, didn't think so. That would have been nice. Oh, that's pretty sweet. We do just love attributes here, don't we? (14 dexterity). Dexterity, helmets with dexterity. I mean, if I guess we're gonna have it can be like any T7 on there, really. Oh, it's on the base. Like, where's the dexterity there? Okay. Let's talk about helms. Puncture, we don't really use that. There's a T6 dexterity, I think that's fine. And yeah, this is the time when you really want to have that, like, force put it into this thing instead of using the filter. Like, just force put it into the one that I want right here. Because we are just going to do this. Go T7. And we're going to look at these ones. Dark Quiver, don't like that as much. Fire Pan for Ignite, not a big fan. Ring Fizz, not great. Can we shave that off? We can. Let's just do this with it. And then what else can we slap on here? We want health. Health. It's bad. Oh yeah, right. We need. I did the wrong thing. It's fine though. That's actually good because then we can get rid of it on our ring. Poison res, cold res. We're short on cold res. We're not gonna have enough to actually get this high enough. We just need something. Yeah, of course that happened. All right. Let's see what this turns into. Health regen, gross. Kind of needs the dexterity, doesn't it? Oh. What have I done? What have I done? Trying to do this quickly because I want something better. Don't want that Dark Quiver. Ah. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. We're rolling with this. Come on. Not a single crit? Is that good enough to do? More dex. It's an improvement. We're just gonna do it. It's improvement. It's better. I know it's not that good. I want another shot, and I want to do it. I want to get a couple more shots in. Is there a better feeling in gaming than when you slam a 2LP and getting the double T7? I don't know. I wouldn't know. Would you ever add a time played per class track? I remember seeing that in Diablo 3 and thought it was just fun. Yeah, there's things like that we're adding. So yeah, not specifically per class necessarily, but I do like the idea. All right, that is an improvement. Some dex, some health, some melee res. It fixes our cold, one short, whatever, close enough. It's not the same as normal. We're going back. We're gonna give it another try. We'll slam a new amulet if this doesn't go well. But yes, we're looking for slash blade style effects, tracking, such. Okay, here we go. Are there any plans to provide some balance for builds that are hard freeze focused against enemies that are freeze resistant? I think thinking about Cold Stormblade. I think there's
the altar of oblivion.
Like hard CC on bosses is never going to be something we're encouraging to be happening.
First, prove yourselves worthy.
Mike, show me pictures of the sushi you made last night. I also made homemade sushi the other day. I want pictures. Oh Jesus, that was you almost got me there. Now I'm gonna be overly cocky about my abilities because I did this first time and I'm now stronger, so I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm so much better, and I'm just gonna like die to something dumb.
Entertain my dear sister for a moment.
Traveler, don't worry about me.
I don't think ancient saber-tooth scale with the skill tree, do they? I don't know. Probably not. Oh gosh. Okay, we gotta lock in here. Come on, Mike. You can do this.
See the beauty we were denied. The terror turned her back on us. Darkness reigns. The void comes.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Also, you jerk, trying to get me killed, looking over there. I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna look. I'm not gonna do it, not gonna look. Dang it. Thought shift was off cooldown and it wasn't. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Okay. Nope. Nope. Oh my goodness. I know I need to be prepared for that. I'm not any, I'm, Do we have an amulet to fix ours, to try and buff our amulet here? Time to go again. Do we just go right back in and try again? Are more champion affixes coming? Are existing ones getting buffs? Yes. Is Shatter on death effect after Frozen coming in season 3? And what about Combat Field season 3 is improved? If not, when will it be? The Shatter stuff, I don't think the Shatter stuff season 3. It looks so good. I don't know if it made it. I think it's post season 3. It looks so good. I think there was just something about it that wasn't quite ready enough for it. Has anyone internally noticed that 1.3 is releasing on the 7th anniversary of the alpha release? Because I think it's neat. Yes, I have noticed that. I also think it's neat. I didn't know it was the 7th anniversary of alpha release, but I knew it was on a date we'd done before. Why did you decide to add MTX to offline mode? I remember being an unlikely scenario in the past. What changed? It was always something we wanted to do. I think we were just able to do it securely now. Are you guys planning on improving graphics and animations? Oh yeah. There's always graphics and animation improvements happening. There's really cool stuff around, like just like the walking animation that I know seems ridiculous, but like if you notice that her head doesn't move to the inside of the circle when turning, and There's no leaning inside this circle, and you know, just transition between animations. So like when you shoot and then try and walk quickly, having that like that transition in that animation happen more smoothly, and just going from ability to ability, and like changing weapon types and things like just different transitions between animations is also being improved a lot. All right, it was Arrow Weird gifting a sub to Kane. I think that was the one in mid try. And Daedalus gifted one to Andrew Tilley. That's a well-deserved one right there. Thank you very much. Also, Dub Grumble, thanks for the sub. And there we're another gift to Nightbot. And we're the really important gifts coming out. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We'll celebrate my pain and suffering with another one. I really just want to. I feel like we can do better on these. If we put like a defensive thing on the quiver, maybe we survive that better. We need more health. That's a big thing. My health must have gone up when I put this on though. How much did my health change when I did that? Sentinel with a crossbow win. Oh my god, please soon. Please. That's the one I had before. What's my health? 2140. Yeah, it was 118. Are these still the same? Yep, that's good. That's for this. Resistances are fine. Cold's one off, but that's fine. Let's go for it. Let's try it again. Run it back. How do you feel about other ARPGs taking inspiration from LE? It is surreal. It is super cool. I don't think there's like, I don't know if there's like any actual major stuff that's been like directly taken from us necessarily, and possibly just us both taking inspiration from the same other third source as well. But yeah, I mean, if there's like, there was one that I saw that like I thought maybe was, but it's hard to tell. Like, we've been out for long enough that like it's possible. And like ARPG developers, I think, pay more attention to niche ARPGs like what we were 5 years ago, sort of thing. I think it's super cool. I think it's validating quite a lot. You know, like we've got ideas and things we're implementing that are, you know, good enough that they inspire other people to, you know, build on that and improve upon it. I think that's awesome. That's fantastic. Like the idea that we're having an impact on the genre as a whole is super cool. Like it's not something that I ever really expected, but I love. Oh no, run! I clicked outside of the game window. Oh, I clicked outside of the game window. Oh, that's frustrating. We're just going right back in. This is why WASD controls are superior and I should switch. Are there any plans to increase variety of map juicing? In the current patch, there are effectively 2 strats with shrines or chests, and that's about it. Yeah, I think there's definitely room for increasing that variety. I wouldn't expect huge changes in that category for season 3 though. Wonder how little I can move here. Like, can I just keep attacking? Not that. Good. Okay, I can do that faster. That's good. Do you plan to add more crafting methods in game? If yes, how do you plan to keep it more intuitive but simple at the same time with not too much brain explode like PoE? I think it's adding the more advanced methods as mechanics outside. So like as mechanics through echoes that get revealed over time, and having those crafting mechanics sort of like slowly get added, I think is the the important part.
Oropis would have welcomed you.
I also think we're probably not going to add too many more. Okay, here we go.
Fight for nothing. The void hungers.
I kind of want to test this to see like what I can stand in, to see like if I can just do more, like if I can just DPS through stuff. And I know it's probably gonna get me killed a couple times, but I feel like it would improve the rate that I can do this at and get to the part that I'm struggling with faster. That was a lucky route. Okay. Yep. We're all right. Dang it. Dang it.
We treated the world no better. Death is our legacy. The void comes.
Oh, no, wrong thing.
The world called to Oropis. This is his answer. The void hungers.
No!
Fight for nothing.
I don't know why I can't handle that. I don't know why I did that. My brain just shuts off. I don't know why. Okay. Any teasers for new cosmetics? Those are the only teasers I have today. Sorry, just the two. You just gotta watch me flail around and fail miserably here. This might be a next week thing. This might be a next week thing.
The altar of oblivion.
So we're getting low. You only have 7 minutes left.
So you finally returned to me, and with a guest. But first,
Thanks, Justin.
yourself
I hope so.
Face us yourself.
All right. We're getting through that pretty smooth now.
sister for a moment.
Any plans to revamp Arena in a future patch with increased drops, more bosses and such? I think having the Arena system get more stuff is cool, but having the Endless Arena be a significant source for drops is dangerous at best. It's more of a challenge than a system. When are we going to see melt on poison death effects? Soul leaves body on necrotic damage effect or enemies cast in the void death beyond effect on void skill or dismemberment or bleed to death and fizz bleed damage, etc. When you have a lot of enemies, those are really brutal to add into the game altogether. That is the sort of thing that we are looking at, especially with the starting version of the freeze shatter version that's coming. It'll be the first one. Oh, our gloves proc. That's not good.
night, Terror turned her back on us. Darkness reigns.
Got raided.
The void comes.
Come on.
Sora will depart. They deserve their fates.
No. That's okay. Come on.
Is our legacy. The void hungers. The world called to orbit. This is his answer. The void hungers.
Jesus Christ. No! Get out of there!
The void comes.
Come on! No! Oh. Whew. That's good. No problem. Oh, and it dropped. Oh.
No.
That's good. Oh, yes. All right. All right. Yes. Oh, that feels good. I am shaking. I am, whew. Yeah, that is. Oh, God. We are taking everything. It's all mine. I don't care. I earned it. Give it to me. This stuff can stay. Whew. Oh. You gotta calm down a bit here. Oh. Did not think I was gonna manage to pull it off today. Very pleased with myself.
It's more than I'll return. Thank you, traveler.
Okay. Can you at least share how big the system in season 3 is? Is it like Nemesis big? Do we do all exalted items can have primordial affix? I can't talk about specifics with primordial affixes right now. That's going to be in a dev blog coming up. Season 3's system is bigger than the Nemesis. Yes, bigger than Nemesis for sure. Whew. Cyborg. So Uber Abby next week? No. If I get lucky with some stuff, maybe we'll try. Have you put any Easter eggs or references to other ARPGs? Oh yes, definitely. Also, any hidden areas in the game the community hasn't found yet? No, they've all been found. Like the one, the hidden hard mode boots, or the one, the ancient forest. Yeah, all the hidden areas have been found. There is a new Easter egg coming in season 3. A little thank you for this lovely, lovely person who made this for me. And just tiny little thing, but it's cool. And Easter egg references, yeah, there's lots. There's some bears in at one point that have some runes inscribed on the side of them, and they're the Joth bears, which Joth Ber or bear, depending on how you pronounce it, is the rune word for Enigma in Diablo 2. And these bears have a special ability that they can teleport, which Enigma gives as a ability in Diablo 2. There's lots of other ones too. There's the Undisputed Axe, which is a reference to Path of Exile, and the moment when the undisputed best axe in the game was created, but long since outclassed. There's lots of others that I'm completely glossing over too. But yes. Where do you think the ARPG genre? Where do you think that ARPGs in general is heading towards? What is the future of ARPGs? Feels like the genre has stagnated in innovation for the last decade. I mean, I think the addition of WASD has been a pretty huge change for ARPGs in general. I think that's a surprisingly big thing in control scheme change, which I know might seem small, but it has a lot of knock-on effects. I'd like to see more PvP elements come back, I guess. That's a tricky one though. I don't know how much that's going to happen. I think there's a lot of really cool, interesting things that we still haven't done that we'd like to do, that I think a lot of other people are hoping to do as well. That I'm not really going to talk about yet, sorry. Could you add an option to force the cursor to stay in the window during combat? During combat is something that we really struggle with defining. I don't know if we can change that on the fly like that. That's a cool idea though. Having very recent personal impact of that. I don't know if you noticed, but I was being very cautious with that ability after that moment. And yeah, if you have time, go put that in the suggestions channel on our Discord, because I think that's a cool idea. I don't know if it's possible, but I'd love to. If the plan is to leave Uber Abbey unattainable for most builds, are there any plans to make his drops available for COF players without killing him? Probably not. I don't know. I don't think there's a single class that can't do it though. I think that's one of the important things. Like there's always a way, and no matter which character you've picked, I don't think there's any way you could have a permanent thing you've chosen that makes it impossible to do. I think there's always a way to change your character to make it possible. Sometimes pretty dramatic changes, but yeah. Okay. I am still, like, my heart's just racing right now. That felt great. That felt great. All right, there we go. New chest. I gotta fix my heart secret now because I just lost 2 points. It's all right though. Did our resistances bork too? Yeah, our resistances plummeted. God, we'll figure this out for next week. But oh, that's fantastic. Woo. Okay, we're done. I will be back, same time, same place next week. I hope you had fun. I know I did. If I missed your question, I apologize. It was not intentional. If you would still like it answered, please head on over to our Discord channels and Asset Devs channel. I do my best to answer as many questions in there as possible. There are also some great community members that help in there as well. Hype Week starts. Next week, we've got all sorts of crazy stuff to share. I'm really pumped for that. Let's go find someone to say hi to. I think I saw some people. Oh, okay. Yeah. Fuji's back. Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good day.